So turn off your television sets. Turn them off now. Turn them off right now. Turn them off and leave them off. Turn them off right in the middle of the sentence I'm speaking to you now. Turn them off.
Um, if you were listening to this, you're probably wondering why there was a delayed, like, excuse me, an elongated silence there. It's because I have no words. I D, let me kick it to you. How's it going?
I don't know. I don't, I don't know anything right now. I have so many things to say and nothing to say at the same time.
That
Oh,
is, um, look, we're gonna
brilliant. Okay, let's
we
start with that.
yeah,
Brilliant.
exactly,
Magnificent.
exactly,
Awesome.
exactly.
Phenomenal. Roller coaster. Emotional roller coaster. My family's going through it, okay? That's all I gotta say. That's all I can say.
Obviously, we love the episode, but here's the thing: I'm trying to remember the last time I've had just a dropped jaw response while watching a TV show. And it's been a minute. It's been times where I've been like, oh, that's a good moment. Or like, wow, that was really entertaining. But my jaw actually dropped. Like I could feel it dropping and I couldn't control it. And
Let me
you
tell you
know
what mine
exactly.
was.
Yes.
Succession season 2 finale. That was the last time my jaw dropped like this. This is insane. Oh my gosh, I love this show so much. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
Look, we're gonna try to like do like a linear recap like we always do. I can't promise anything, but I want to start with this first. This episode is a lesson in patience because one Torre tweeted out earlier that there wasn't enough representation in Succession, and here we go. Shout out to Z-Way as Sophie Iwayobi, and I will pronounce it Iwayobi because soccer player Alex Iwayobi pronounces it that way, so that's what I'm gonna do too. But yeah, lots to get into this episode, so let's set the stage. Kendall is starting to get kind of lost in the sauce. D, like, what? How do you feel about that? Obviously, he is relishing this attention he is getting.
Kendall is a man child. And I knew he was like almost like in an arrested development, but it's like he's legit like a teenager. He's just really I don't know. I really don't know what Ken's thing is. And I'm starting to think that Ken is maybe what I thought Greg was. Because there's no doubt that Ken is off. But I still feel like he's is something he's doing which makes sense. We just can't see it because he's playing a long game. At least I hope he is, because I don't want him to be this dumb. I don't know.
So
What you think?
so first, I'm going to say. Well, before I answer your question, I'm going to say this. There's actually a character in this episode that I think is doing that, and I'll talk to you about that later. But as far as Kendall, Um, like you said, he's a bit of a man child. He just likes attention. He's the prototypical tech bro. Like right now, he's basically like Elon Musk because I do think like behind closed doors, Elon Musk is like, let me tweet the dumbest shit and see what reaction it gets, and then he's showing his friends because this is how he gets his rocks off. So he's
Yeah.
doing that right now, and he is taking it to like the extreme level because basically Z-Way, who is playing like a fictionalized character, a fictionalized version of herself, she is
Yes.
kind of she's kind of like going in on him, and and he's like, you know what? I love this. I love it. I want more. Like I want Edda Pussy Part Two.
I love
Insane.
it and she loves me. And I was like, does she though? She
Does she though?
called you at a pussy. Like, that's not flattering on any level. But he loves it. So.
Yeah, we could start to see like the threads unraveling because when he was doing like the in the car, like, well, excuse me, the limo, you- they were doing like the good tweet, bad tweet. And the lady read out the one where he was like, "Oh, he's a drug addict," and you know. and got really sad for a moment.
Slowed down for a second, yeah, because I'm like, it went from good to, and I honestly thought they were about to say, dang, that was sad because the
Mhm.
mood just shifted. And I'm like, I know they're playing good tweet, bad tweet, but damn, that was sad. It was legitimately a sad tweet. I felt sad for him in the moment.
So I'm gonna ask you a question that probably should wait until the end, but I have to ask it now.
Give it to me.
Knowing the family, how hard are they gonna go to push him? Like, I'm just gonna have to say it. How hard are they gonna go to push him basically back into that dark space?
You're saying a family. You mean Siobhan and Logan, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, I think I honestly would not be surprised if they try to push him to freaking suicide.
Like, you can't put it past them, right?
Like I would not be surprised because, and I say that because they know how bad his addiction is. So
Exactly.
the letter that Siobhan wrote, we will get into her because I got some words for her ass. But the letter that she wrote proves that she knows where it takes him. So putting him in a situation where he can get back to that level is pretty much giving him a death sentence because now you're putting him there without your support. Because he's not going to have Rava, he's not going to have Logan, he's not going to have Shiv, obviously.
Right.
Thankfully, it looks like he'll have his brothers, but I don't know. Again, this time, and I hate to say you were right, but Roman is the only child now that I'm like, yeah, he's my guy.
S- And see, I think to a certain degree, like, well, up until this point, this has all been the game, for lack of better words. Like, they all like they just screw each other over. They've done this all of their lives. They want to be the ones to get the adoration from their father. But once it goes into that space, like especially Connor, but Roman too, they're like, nah, this is going too far. I don't want any parts of this. So that's what I'm saying. Like, just how far does it have to go for them to be like, hey, I'm out, considering like their relationship? So it's wild that that letter even came out. And as Granny used to say, like, it was a very nice, nasty letter.
It it wasn't nice at all. Like I don't understand. Granny's right because I understand what Granny is saying, but this wasn't nice at all. That was just ugly, and it's even worse coming from your sister, right? So
Mhm.
there's a letter that like that can come out from someone, even if it came out like from Rava. You know what I mean? That's one thing, but this is your this is your
Your
sister,
sister.
your baby sister, who and I'm wondering if I know that their relationship doesn't seem as strong as her relationship with Romans. Like it seems
Mhm.
like Roman and Kendall are the closest. But I assume that her and Kendall had some sort of relationship. I mean, it's his sister, you know? But the way the boys I've noticed will always tell her she's going too far
Mhm.
because they did the same thing when she came at Rome. Remember in the when they were all in his daughter's room, in
Right.
Kendall's daughter's room, they because Connor was like, "Oh, it's a little bit, just a little too far,"
Mhm.
and it's almost like she doesn't know where that is. And I'm thinking it's because she can go as far as she wants to with them, but they always had to hold back with her.
But you know what set her off? Like, it's like the meme that floats around Twitter. Man you strongly hate says something that is absolutely correct. So when they were at the journals when they were at the journalist ball and he was like, "Oh, so you're the one now. So you're I
Mhm.
feel sorry for you." And she was like, "Wait,
She
no. I'm getting this real opportunity. What do you mean it's me?" So that really fucked with her because she like knows it's true, but the fact that it's coming from him like makes it even worse.
And think about this too, Ronnie. He said specifically, "It's you now." And
Uh-huh.
every time they've been saying who CEO, it's always been it's me, it's me, it's me. So when it's finally her, it's still not CEO. It's something else, which is pretty much the do
So
girl. That's what
So
she is
that
now.
exactly, I was going to say that actually had a double meaning because when he said it's you now, it's like you're the one to eat shit now. Like you
Mhm.
are where like she is now where he was like last
Mhm.
season when he was like just just a lifeless zombie walking around. But thing is, she is like relishing this opportunity, not knowing that's what it is, because that's totally what it is. She's the one now.
And that's worse because at least Kendall knew, like, this is my duty. I know none of this is for my benefit, none of this is for my good. I am doing what Logan wants me to do, and that's it. Siobhan didn't understand that until he told her. And I think
Hmm.
she may have known, but she didn't, she wanted to think that she was doing more.
Hmm.
And he's good. He calls her Pinky and she just melts. Whatever
Hmm.
you whatever you want, whatever you want. Just call me Pinky and I'll do whatever you say. And
Hmm.
because he keeps trying to make it seem like Jerry is just in the spot. And I understand that, but Jerry's not Siobhan. Jerry is very smart and she's not pretending to be smarter than she is. Jerry knows what she's doing.
Hmm.
So she may be kind of like sitting back to kind of let Logan do what he wants. But as we saw when the FBI got there, when Jerry says get it done, it gets done.
Hmm.
So him trying to make Shiv even believing that Jerry is just this bodysuit that's just gonna do whatever he says. That was just dumb in the first place because that's not Jerry
Yeah,
at all.
in the sense like it's wild that Jerry is being underestimated because she's been there for so long. She's obviously very wise. She is the freaking legal counsel. So why, like, look, do not underestimate your legal counsel. I'll just say that now. Like that's
Like of all people, you underestimate Jerry. Like you said, she's been there with you. She's probably been there as long as anybody else, if not longer, right?
right, right.
So I don't know. Maybe he's underestimating because she's a woman. Because I mean, I wouldn't put it past him.
I certainly want to put it past him.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the play with Shiv is to get Kendall first to back down, to just like, hey, like chill out with the interviews and stuff, and to second to make sure his crazy ass doesn't go into the office. And Kendall being Kendall, he's like, okay, I know the play now, so I'm gonna do both of these things.
Guess what I'm about to
And
do? I Okay, so from your perspective, think of you as running the person. Would you have gone to the office?
no, but I'm not that type of person, but at the same time, like that's exactly why he called everybody to let them know he was on the way, because he wanted that attention too. He was like, "Oh, my key card doesn't work."
Hell yeah! And he knew Greg was going to tell his. We got to get to
Exactly.
him too, because I don't. I know you say he's a genius. I think you want him to be, but I don't know about Greg, man. I just I don't know what he's doing. I don't. Help me out.
So I still think, like, I still think Greg made a smart play as far as what he's doing now. I have no idea, but like tangentially, like I actually want to shift towards Tom, because remember when I said that someone might have a play that we aren't seeing yet. So here's the thing, like this is my read of it, of or how I think it'll go at least. So if Tom gets Logan to basically serve him up and take the rap for this, that will be an admission that something bad actually did happen. Therefore, Tom will get his immunity and they could push forward with, prosecuting the Roy family. I think that's his
Mm,
play. I think that's his play.
hmm It's a good one. That's a good
Yeah.
play. That's a great play.
Yeah.
And he knows where the bodies are buried when it comes to cruises for sure.
Right.
Okay. How did he know to did Logan give him the call to get rid of that stuff? Like why did he tell Greg to get rid of it in the first place?
All
Because he
right. So
knew
so I'm laughing because it's actually a very funny scene, where he's about to take over cruises. I think I want to say it's, yeah, season one. He's
it's
about to
season
take
one.
over
Yeah.
yeah, he's about to take over cruises, and the guy like leaves the party. He's in the office. He's like, so I'm gonna type a message on this airdropped computer that isn't connected to the internet, and then I'm just gonna delete it and I'm gonna walk away. And then so he typed the message about where the papers are. He was like, hey, this is your problem now. So it came to a point where it was about to get out. So Tom had to delete the papers because he was now the head of cruises, and he basically had to like try to like put some space between. so he was given that problem. So he like is
Hmm.
well aware of it. So he was like, damn, I got to get rid of the papers now.
So he inherited. Okay, and
Right,
then
right.
Greg was just smart enough to say, "Oh, nah, there's a reason why you're getting me to do this specifically
Uh-huh.
today in the dark of night, and then have the shredded papers given to somebody else. So let me just say
On
what's here."
Thanksgiving, nonetheless. On Thanksgiving.
It's like, um, Shiv, right? Since we're on tone, let's go to Shiv right quick. When they had that, what did you think about her meeting with Logan when they were talking about it? Because she was just kind of like, your name's in the emails. He's like, I didn't know. I don't read emails. I just get points. And I'm like, he's
Like,
lying.
oh, that's the
He's lying.
so all right. So even in that situation, Logan could have been like, of course I fucking knew, but we're gonna fight this because that's who we are. But he couldn't admit to her that he knew about it. And she's just like, yeah, dad, I believe you. Like, no, like of course not. So like goes back to the whole like her not being as smart as as she thinks she is type thing. But yeah, like obviously he knew. Of course he knew. Of course he knew because he like knew molester. Like, yeah, he knew.
He knows he knew too. And
Yes.
she's she's just trying. I guess she just doesn't. She's okay with just him playing in her face because that's what he's doing. He's
He
playing in
is
her face.
playing in her
Like he
face,
is
yes.
playing in her face, and she's asking for it. Like she's like, lie to me again. It's like that song. What's his name? The whinings. I don't want to know. That's her.
Oh, I thought you were about to say Drake, tell me lies, make them
Well,
sound
that
good.
too. All that. Make it sound, and that's all she needs. She just wants her daddy to say, no, Pinky, I didn't know anything, it's fine. And then he's playing it under the guise of, I'm keeping you clean. And no, he's just lying to you to your face because he knows you're going to believe it or pretend to believe it and do nothing about it.
And I would like to point out this too, like the kind of like the symmetry between she and Logan. They both do this thing where let's say like let's say like you're going to the store for a slice of cake. Do you want some? I'm like, nah, I do not want cake. You know I don't want cake. I'm on a diet. But if you want to bring me cake, you can bring me cake. I'm not asking for you to bring me cake. Just, if
I
you
don't
happen
even
to
want
get
the cake,
yeah, I
by the
don't
way.
even want the cake. Yeah. So they do that type of thing where because thing is like she doesn't even realize where she gets it from because Logan does it to her and then she does it to Tom.
Ooh, boy, it is like she did it. I saw his face. Like how sometimes people superimpose another
Hmm.
person's face on a body. I
Hmm.
saw his face while she was talking to Tom. No, no,
Hmm.
honey, you can't do that. But I mean, it makes sense. It's smart. I mean, nobody's going to jail. Nobody's going to go to jail, and then this would look really good. I mean, you and my dad would be great. But no, 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 you can't do that. I'm like, Tom, you see through this, right? And I think he does. I mean, I know he was
He
drunk,
does.
but he's not stupid.
I think he does.
He's not
I
stupid. What
think
he,
I
uh,
I think he knows the FBI is gonna come knocking, and he's the closest person to this, so he can either strike up a deal or he could like he's gonna get fucked either way. But I mean, I guess it is it's the preference at this point. So,
who do you want to do it?
right.
Do you think? Okay, so I know he knows her. Of course, he married her. Do you think he underestimated what he was getting into when he married her on the business side? I know he did when it
Yes.
came to the relationship, but I don't think he understood it was this bad. Like I honestly don't think Tom knew that this is what he was doing.
I thought he probably thought he could just take it as long as he's moving up and getting what he's want. But now that they're in the shit now, for lack of better words, he's like, whoa, I didn't.
To go to prison.
I am being implicated now, so I didn't know it was gonna get this real. I was prepared to like people to sit at the table and make jokes about me because I wear relaxed jeans, but I wasn't prepared for this moment. Nah, it's not happening.
Bore on the floor, sure. whatever. I'll take it.
Whatever.
I'm marrying into this family. I'm getting all these perks. I'm rich now. I'll be poor on the floor. But now we're talking prison. Ooh,
Mm-mm.
that's a, that's a little different than what I signed up for. Interesting. I think he is though the same thing he did to Siobhan, like you said
Mm.
that Roy, I mean Logan is doing to Shiv. Shiv does it to Tom. I think he's doing it to them too. And it's because he's saying to Shiv, "Hey Shiv, maybe I should do this thing, or maybe not. What do you think, And she's like, "Oh,
Mm.
no, you shouldn't, or you should, but no, you shouldn't." And he did that to
That's a good
Logan
point
too.
because I
Yeah,
think previously, like he was like before he really saw her for what he was, like he would ask her stuff, like for instance the watch. You're like, yeah, would your dad like a watch? And she just blew him off. She was like, sure, give him the watch. But now when he's asking, like, because in that moment, I think he was kind trying to see how she would react. If she reacted the way she did on the yacht, he was like, okay, I know what my plan is now. And now that she reacted in that manner, I think yeah, I think all right, because let's go back because by the way, Tom is one of my least favorite characters,
I
simply like
can't stand
personality
Tom.
wise. But I mean, he's an opportunist, but I don't think he's like a complete idiot
I
either.
don't either. I don't think
Yeah.
he's an idiot either. I'm with you. I
So
don't think
so so
anybody's an idiot though, which is crazy. But go ahead.
uh, but yeah, seeing this shift happen will is gonna I feel like it's gonna catch some people off because they're gonna be like, oh, I didn't know Tom had this, but it will actually be a natural progression because he's totally an opportunist.
Absolutely, in every sense of the word. So even if he has to do it with his wife, if he has to make whatever opportunity available in his current situation, he will,
Hmm.
and that's what he's doing. Like for instance, the whole thing with her and I can't remember the guy she was having sex with, the journalist.
Is it Nate? Yeah,
Nate,
Nate.
yeah. Even with Nate, he took the opportunity to, have a pissing contest with
Mhm.
Nate at the wedding. Because him telling him to pour that wine or champagne, whatever it was, back into the bottle, I'm like, dude, this is insanity. This is insane. But he was just pretty much, like, hey, yes, you have sex with my wife. My dick is bigger. That's exactly what he was doing. And
Yeah.
Nate couldn't do anything but be like, well, okay, sure,
Okay.
and leave. And Shiv is just like, I don't know. Just she's Logan Jr., like you say all the time.
Yes.
I just don't like her at all. That was a little bit that I had for her because I felt sorry for her, and I still feel sorry for all the kids. But there's a point where Shiv has to. She there are always moments where Shiv can be better
Mm,
outside of Logan. Like she can still make a decision, but she doesn't. Every time she makes the worst decision, and there has to be a point where you're like, maybe it's just you.
mm.
Like it's
Exactly.
not just your dad's influence on you. It's just you. And I've seen every other kid do it. Kendall's done it. Even if it was for an opportunity, he did it. Connor's done it. Roman has done it. And Roman used to get beat. So if Roman can do it, Shiv, so can you. You can be better. You can say, Dad, this is too much. Like this is too much. But she
I
never
was gonna
does.
I was gonna ask you something too because I don't think I'm misreading this because it came up again later in the episode. But by the way, Brian Cox was like on fire this episode. Like I think it kind of goes under the radar, like how fantastic of an actor he is, considering like he's so far from this guy in real life. But he makes me feel like he's actually the president of Fox News. But I digress. But he was talking to Shiv and he says, "My only daughter." I don't think he was talking about Shiv. He was actually jokingly talking about Roman.
They keep implying it. They keep
Mm.
implying that something with him. And I'm assuming you're talking about the finger banging comment.
No, 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 no. So there is a so when Shiv and Logan are talking in the room and they're talking about Roman having to do like the
The daddy
interview, I
thing. I
think.
love my
Yeah,
daddy. Yeah.
and then Logan says something to the effect of my only daughter, but in that context, he wasn't talking about Shiv. He was talking about Roman. And then, of course, he drops the F bomb later in the
Mm.
episode. So it's very clear that he wanted, you know, Shiv to be Logan Jr.
Oh yeah.
So much to your point. Like, yeah, it's just her. It's like she tries to be something, but this is clearly who she is.
She it's her. And again, it's his fault too, because like we said before, it's a self correction in every child. And then once
Hmm.
he got to Shiv, he literally made Logan Jr. She just happened to be a girl. If she'd been a boy, well, no, I can't imagine.
Ooh,
Wait,
yeah.
yeah, but I just, I think my biggest thing with Shiv is, like you said, there throughout the whole thing, there has still been a camaraderie, a brother and sisterhood between the kids. There's still been that love and support between them. No matter how much they all wanted to be top dog, it always still felt like they were connected. And I noticed it more so at Shiv's wedding, because she's gotten married, and she's like, "Hey, do you want to go and get together after?" I'm like, "Cause she loves her brothers, clearly." So there's a connection there. And when Kendall called them to the house to talk to them, and I asked you, well, does he just trust them, or is he crazy? There was there's just this understanding between siblings that they had. So when Shiv crossed this line, it really upset, like it really hurt my feelings. And it made me like chuckle a little bit, because Roman saw right through her ass, like right through her,
Hmm.
when because he asked her flat out, is this a dad thing that he wants? Did he say all of us sided? And she's like, I just think it's coming back from. I was like, oh, okay. You just don't
Yeah.
want to be the bad guy. You want it to look like it's a unified, a united front, and that
Mm.
we are clearly concerned about you for real, Kendall. This wasn't me being, you know, um, catty or angry with you for playing the dang on song over my over my presentation.
Look. Hold on. Look. Because I wanted. Okay. So young Ron, you know, is very much of the generation that would watch WCW and see Diamond Dallas Page come out and hear "Smells Like Teen Spirit." So young Ron loves him a good Nirvana song. One very underrated Nirvana song, because of like just the implied meaning behind the song, because like it's actually talking about something else and not like the actual word, is rape me from in utero. So when I heard that, my jaw fucking dropped. D. Because I watch, all right, so I'm one of the weirdos that watches TV with the captions on.
Mhm.
I have to. So, but thing is, there's like a tiny delay in the captions. I heard the beat drop, my jaw dropped, and then I see the words on the screen. I'm just like, oh my God. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, yeah. She was very upset. I will say that though. In her defense, that didn't feel fake. She was very, very, very
He was
upset.
very upset.
But I don't think honestly she was upset. She's just embarrassed. That's this
She
different.
is exactly,
It
exactly.
wasn't like he done something to her specifically, and she felt like this was an attack on Shiv. She was just embarrassed that this was her debutante coming out as the president of, what is it, domestic whatever, and it was ruined by that particular.
You know what it remind me of is like Carrie, like she thinks she's about to be the homecoming queen, and she just has the blood dumped on her, and now she's about to burn the house down. Like she was
Look at
about to
you with the
burn the
Halloween
entire house down.
reference. Check you out on Halloween. I agree. I agree. That's exactly what it was, because she did stand up there like she had just been crowned,
Yeah.
and Kendall was like, "Not on my watch. No,
Oh
not
my God.
today." How
Yeah.
did I know how? Because they underestimate Kendall again. But Logan has said it's war, so I
Yeah.
don't think he has a level that he wants to. But as soon as it happened, I knew that he was going to make it about him. I thought maybe he would berate her again because every time she can't get something done, he blames her, even though it's out of her control. I thought he was going to find a way to blame her. But then I was like, no, 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 no. And he did what I thought. He's like, now do you understand? So it's like, oh, now
Mhm.
you see that Kendall won't stop and all of this stuff. And I'm like, I know you can't hit somebody and then tell them how hard to hit you back, but she crossed the line. And the
She
reason I
did.
know she crossed the line is because Roman can't be your moral compass. Romulus,
If look, if Romulus Roy is your moral compass, you've gone too far. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. That was only for like that was only seen internally in Waystar Royco. Like that video. Like that was specifically for the employees of the company. She put out a for immediate release press release to the fucking world that calls him basically a deadbeat father, an addict multiple times over, and worse. Like she put that out to the world before he is go. And by the way, like I will say this, like him going on that show was a dumb idea, but at the same time, like at the same time, I mean that was a bit too far.
have you seen Seaway show?
I've seen clips of it, and it's interesting.
That's her show. The show that she was the parody of the
Yeah.
show, that's her show. Like that's legit her show. And I've seen it. And when I saw people were on the show, I remember thinking this has to be like a sketch because
Mhm.
why would anybody come on this show? Why? Why would you? Because she doesn't sound like her humor is very like she has straight. It's beautiful because she's setting them zingers out straight face, like
Yeah, like that
straight.
is very much a show where I'm like, and it's not like Zach Galifianakis like between two
Mm-mm.
ferns where it's like a joke. Like she is seriously like, so how does it feel to have white privilege? Let's talk
She
about that.
like
And like she
yeah,
like I have no idea why any white person goes on that show ever.
ever. And but him is that's why it's perfect because he is the type of person who would go on the show because they think they're smarter than her.
Mhm.
And there's nothing she's going to say that I can't, say because I am truthful. I am all these things. And I thought he was gonna understand it or at least have a revelation when she went through the whole when she kind of went on a tirade about him being privileged and the white
Mhm.
kid and all this stuff because that's the stuff he told Shia. That's what he told Shia. You have this idea that you're woke and all of these things. She said the same things about him and he just laughed them off like they were a joke. So I'm like, yeah, he is a man child.
Also, I did not know Kendall was a GD apparently throwing up gang
I,
signs in Paris, France. Like,
gang, like what are you
yeah,
doing?
like come on, dude.
What are you, what are you doing? That's what I'm saying. He's a man child, a wigger. Ain't that what they call him?
He
He's
is
just he's a lot. I mean, we should have known, L to the OG.
no, 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 no. I
No,
mean, our
it's a
introduction to him, he is listening to Beastie Boys, so like
yeah.
it tracks, it makes sense. But he
Like
is
we
so
Beastie Boys, you can kind of get. I mean, he's a white boy, so it's kind of like,
yeah.
fine, you go listen to Beastie Boys. But yeah, I wasn't expecting him to be a rapper slash gang. You know, here we go again. Um, what is now going to happen because the FBI has made their presence known. Oh no, sorry. Before we get to that, okay, let's explain some stuff because I was a little unclear and I need some. It's a little murky for me. Okay, outside of just the myths, as far as the business goes, Greg Kendall, Greg and Kendall still work for Waystar. Yes.
Yeah, so their relationship hasn't with the company hasn't been dissolved. Like it's just like he screwed the company over, but he still very much has like stake within the company. And same for cousin Greg either, even though like to a lesser degree because he's only like an executive assistant to Tom, I believe. But yeah, they're still employed by the company.
Okay, so they both still work there, and but Greg works directly for Tom, which is kind of like in one of the subsidiaries of Waystar. It's like one of the, I guess, channels, TBN, I think it was called, or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. So Tom is basically.
Okay, you gotta say that again. You went out. Tom is something.
Oh my bad. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, Tom is like over like a like division, and Greg is his executive assistant,
Okay,
I believe.
okay. So at this point, just Tom and Kendall. I mean, not Tom. Greg and Kendall are just kind of like whistleblowers, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They are whistleblowers, and kind of like Jerry said, or was it Carolina? I can't remember who, but it's pretty much an admission of guilt if you
Hmm.
fire
If you
this
fire
person.
them.
So they're basically just on the payroll.
Okay, and that is why it was such a big deal for him to come to the. So why wouldn't my? I guess I can't understand why they so adamantly want to keep him away from the building then, because you would think, okay, this is a if it's nothing, he still works here. They just won't come to the
Well,
building.
well, it's a thing that he's crossing enemy lines now. They just don't want
Mm-hmm.
that. But there's a question I want to ask you about his trip to the office. So, am I not mistaken? The security guard who came in and said, "I know you," that's the one. That's the one, right?
It has to be the one that told him that gave him the rundown after the accident. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Like,
Okay.
like, oh, your key card was stolen. We recovered it by the lake. Yeah,
Hmm. And I thought, and I'm like, that has to be him. And I said I was going to go back to look, but we do this right after y'all, just so you know. But I think that's him. And it honestly doesn't make sense if it's not him,
it has
because
to be him.
Kendall looked very, like, legitimately,
Hmm.
what's the word?
Oh my god. Oh my
Legitimately,
god.
like,
Oh my
shocked.
god. So okay, remember we said how far they would go?
Oh, yeah.
They're gonna like look. They're gonna leak that story.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no doubt in my mind whatsoever that he would. I think the only reason why Logan hasn't done it so far is just because he's saving it. Like, this going to be like his last ditch effort. He's getting Pinky to do it now, and if she can't get it done, then he's gonna drop the store.
Because if I'm not mistaken, there is something that Marsha was like, "Oh, but you have the thing," and he was like, and he was kind of like, "Oh, it's not time for that yet." Like, because even Marsha knows that he has this like in his
Oh yeah,
pocket. But
yeah,
that's the big joker. Like once he puts that down, it's like no coming back.
yeah. Kendall's done, and I don't even know if he knew that Siobhan was gonna write that letter. I think
Nah.
he wanted Siobhan to do something, but I don't think he knew she was gonna do that,
Mm-mm.
because I'm not sure if he even would have been like, he may have just been like, dial that back a little bit. But he's probably gonna be happy she did it because it didn't come from him. This is
Mm.
from his sister. I had nothing to do with that. The relationship he has with his sister is is theirs. So it kind of absolves him from it. But she really disappointed me. She really, really did, because it felt like there were rules to their battle, right? Like, when we were younger, if you fight with your sibling or your friends or your cousins, you can't use your feet, right? That was the thing. You can fight all day, but once you use your feet, it's a real deal fight. And we don't go that far. Everybody kind of knew that was it. That was our thing. Don't use your feet. Siobhan used hands and feet on Kendall, and he was not prepared for it.
But that's the thing. Like you and I, we are regular people. Like we have rules. Like we know that we have to go to the same house with each other. The thing is, when you have so much at stake, like it kind of like the rules kind of dissolve because everybody wants to be number one, and that's the bottom line. So up until that point, I think they've kind of had like, okay, this, like this tit for tat thing. But now that Shiv like thinks and I want to make sure I say thinks she's closer to being number one, yeah, the rules are gone. Like
And
there are no more rules.
that makes a dangerous CEO.
Yeah.
because she has no impulse control, in my opinion. She has no impulse control. And she, like you said, this is not just because of the song during her presentation. This was that plus Kendall seeing through her yet again at the
Mm,
journalist meeting,
mm-hmm.
because she she desperately, she just wants to know or wants to think that there's no way she could ever be what Kendall was. There's no way, because I'm better than that. And Kendall
Right.
just pretty much told her, no, that's exactly what you are. You are me and I am you, or at least I used to be.
Hmm.
So that whole I'm the real you thing hit even harder, because she's just like, dang,
Yeah.
maybe he's right.
All right, D. So I got a question for you. Like one of my biggest, I guess, things this season is that Roman was going to likely be the one to flip. Based on how this episode ended, are we hot or cold on that? What are we thinking?
I don't know. I think Shiv could be okay. I'm hot. Hot means that I think he's going to.
Right, right.
I honestly think the only reason he hasn't is because of what, well, two. One, he's deathly afraid of Logan. He just is. He's afraid of Logan. And two, because of Jared. Jared said stick with me and he trusts Jared. Now, the thing I've noticed though is that his brothers are more his father figures than his brothers, because they mentioned that twice this episode. Once with Connor with the
Hmm.
fishing trip, which was a good memory he had, and two, when Shiv was trying to shit on Kendall, he was like, he taught me how to aim my PP in the toilet. Like I can't do that. And I don't know. Like I said, if she just doesn't have that close relationship with them because she was actually coddled and respected and loved by her dad
Hmm.
more than them, and she just doesn't feel that closeness like they do. But Roman, like, those are his dads. They are not just his big brothers. They're his father figures. So I don't know. I think at
And,
some point he might just be like, you know what,
and here's what I
enough.
think. Like it's obvious that because he's been like battered and abused as a child, like he is almost like Stockholm syndrome. But you can't call this man out his name so many times, like, and expect him to stay loyal.
Especially when I did it for you. I didn't.
Exactly.
He didn't even want to do it. He didn't want to do it. They wanted Shiv to do it, but he's like, all right, fine. Once again, I'll do it, and he did. This is the second time he's had to do something that, because he didn't want to go to that wherever they went when they got held hostage.
Mhm.
He didn't want to do that either, but he did. So Rome comes through every time. And like you said, there's only so many times when somebody can be unappreciated before they're like, you know what? Why am I doing this? This isn't helping me at all. Like, at all. I feel that if he doesn't flip for Kendall, he'll do it for Jerry. And Jerry
So
might have some up her sleeve.
because I was going to say the only thing that is keeping him loyal is like basically his fear of his dad because he knows that he honestly has no shot in hell at the company as it stands now.
None.
Once he says like, you know what, I'm not scared of my dad anymore, like he'll realize like I actually have no reason to be loyal to this company
And why doesn't Logan see that?
because fear is a hell of a thing.
It is. It is. And it's specifically Rome. I think he honestly thinks that Rome is the last one he has to. He doesn't have to worry about Roman at all. I
Hmm.
think he honestly thinks like Roman is my whipping boy forever, no matter
Hmm.
what, because he's literally been that. But Kendall has taken up for him on numerous occasions, and just me watching the show. So there's
Hmm.
no telling how long he's done it. He's probably done it his whole life.
Hmm.
There's gonna come a point when Roman's like, and I don't know if Kendall needs to say it to him for him to hear it. Like, Kendall might just need to be like, hey, you don't have to be afraid of him.
You know what might happen? It might be the one time where Logan lashes out at Roman and Kendall isn't there. And then he'll
Mm.
realize like, you know what? Like, oh shit, like I see
The
what's missing
Shiv
now.
Shiv's not gonna protect him.
Hell no.
She's not gonna take him out. She might pile on. That might be it, Ronnie. It might be a pile on. Like he may say something and Shiv's gonna jump in because she never protects him. She always goes at him.
Hmm.
And if they both attack him, there might be a problem. And he may go to Jerry and Jerry may just kind of, whatever. But it's not gonna be like you said, it's not gonna be the comfort he needs from Kendall.
Hmm.
Because no matter what, he always knows that if nothing else, Kendall's gonna make sure nothing happens to him. You know what I mean? And that might be it. Like he's gonna see that that's not there and be like, "Whoa, this is the person I need. I don't need you. I need
Hmm.
him, or I would
Hmm.
rather be with him." So yeah, I won't be surprised.
But yeah,
I hope he does though.
yeah, I hope he does too. So I
Why did he
guess
do that? Before I'm sorry, I don't want to cut you off. Why did he call him out of his name like that? What was the reason? Because he's
simply
just
because,
mean.
yeah, simply because he can,
Mm,
and and yeah, like it's really messed up because he was just like, and you could tell like Roman was just like so over. He was just like, yeah, dad,
yeah, yeah,
whatever, yeah,
you're right. But I'm like he did what he needed to do. What did you want him to do?
right,
I don't know. I don't know. Because he didn't even berate Kendall that way. When Kendall went on the show, when they were like, well, why did you kind of
hmm,
back off with Stewie and
hmm,
Sandy? And he's like, I saw my dad's idea, and my dad's idea was better. So I don't remember him saying it about him. So I'm with you. I think there's something we don't know about Rome, or something that may have happened to Rome that they kind of play with and they shouldn't. Like he didn't get in the pool
yeah.
with Molester, did he?
Oh my god, I wouldn't put it like I really wouldn't put it because I mean like that's typically where sexual deviancy derives from. So like I honestly wouldn't put it past them and if like oh my god, if Logan like actually knew that and he like kind of like beats Roman because of that, like just oh my god.
Shiv has implied it more than once. Even when she said, what she said, I'm like, eventually you're gonna have to fuck something. Like, how do you know? How do you know what he's doing? First of all, and then,
Yeah.
like I said, that comment about her, that comment she made about letting the football team finger bang him, I was like, this is a lot. Like, why would
Mhm.
you even say that? It's weird because
Yeah.
she does it a lot. She does it a lot. And I just want to add, I thought it was hilarious when they were like, I'm not signing this. And she was like, what do you want? We're like, I want some sucky sucky. I was like, oh my God. So in other words, we're not signing this shit. Go to hell.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
very proud of them telling because I would have told her to go to hell too.
Yeah.
But did you
Yeah.
notice she was like no support as usual? And he was like, oh, okay.
Very Ivanka Trump of her
What
to
is
to be like, oh my god, I am a white woman. I have been mildly inconvenienced. I
You
did not get
never
my
support
way.
me. I know, girl, shut up. You're trying to destroy your brother, and they're like, no, we're not gonna do that.
Yeah.
We won't do it. Which is
Hey,
what you
you should have known Connor wasn't gonna be on board. Come on now.
so what do you say? My signature
Holds a lot of
has
real estate. Really,
it does not. It does not.
most definitely does not.
Does not. But okay, if you say so, sure it does. You're right. Absolutely. So where we are now, I'm on the Roman flips. I just don't know with who. But I feel like it's gonna be either Kendall or Jerry. If Jerry flips, he's going with her. And I say flips, like Jerry might just be like, you know what? I'm done. Like it's over. And being that she's CEO, who knows what's gonna happen. I think he'll go where she goes. Um Kendall, I don't know what's gonna happen with Kendall. I was very happy though to see him smile at the end of the episode because I was nervous. I was very nervous about what was gonna happen to him. But he seemed
So do
happy.
we so obviously he didn't make a call to the DOJ, but he got that ball rolling, right? Like
Had
we
to.
agree on that, right? Because the phone rings and then it cuts away from him.
maybe, um, maybe it was all kind of a part of it because he went on the show against the advice of his legal counsel. And right after that, the FBI shows up. So, but they just kept saying they could be here at any day. They can be here at any time. And I'm like,
Yeah,
well,
so
why aren't
so
they here?
I think Lisa gave him the call like, "Hey, they're on the way. Like you're not there, are you? Oh yeah, that's right. You're doing a dumbass show." So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Sophie called him first, I
Mhm.
think. And she was probably just calling to see, like, we rode together. Where are you? Where are you?
Mhm.
We rode together. And then I think it was her because once he saw the messages or saw that they were being rated, he was pretty ecstatic. What was the deal with the watch? What is Greg? I don't.
So Greg bought a $40,000 watch that does not work.
$40,000 paperweight. Yeah. Why would you buy?
Yeah,
Did you not look at it to see if it worked?
and then
What?
Kendall was like, "I'm not paying for this
I'm
shit,
not paying for
dude."
that. What makes you think I'll buy you a $40,000 watch? I'm not buying that shit. I see again. Greg vexes me because I can't understand him. I don't know if he's just stupid or if he's just very naive with bright spots every now and
You know, people thought the same of Sir Isaac Newton as well, but he shocked a lot of people. But
then. Didn't you compare him to Einstein last time?
yeah, like he is every genius who has
Every
ever
genius.
lived on Earth. Yes,
Yeah, whatever. So, in conclusion, I want the worst for Shiv. Um,
yes,
I just want Kendall to go and just be a bro because that's what he is. Like he don't need to own nobody's company. Um, Roman, I don't know. What would Roman be doing if he didn't have stake in the company? Like, what would his life be?
that's a dangerous ass question. So let's be glad that he actually does have stake in this company. He has something to occupy his time.
Probably own a BDSM club somewhere
Right.
and be like the owner of a chain of them across the
Yes.
states.
Yes.
Um, I think Jerry's gonna have enough because she's smart enough to know that this was a optical or optics,
Mhm.
but she also doesn't like being undermined. And I didn't think that she would run to Logan every time. I think it's like, hey, I know this isn't what you wanted, but you hired me to do this job. I'm capable of doing it. So don't tell me what to do. I think that's going to be a problem with her. And Frank, I don't know. Hugo, I don't know.
And
Hunter's
this
going
is
to win. He's going to be the president of the United States.
and this because he's a mediocre white man. But and this is
A lot of money.
it's wild that Logan is underestimating Jerry because she knows more than Cruises. So she's like the most dangerous out of all of them.
I don't get it. I honestly think he sees that she's a woman, and that's why he's comfortable with these women because he feels like maybe they're all like Marsha, and he can just throw money at it and it'll go away. But Marsha's different than them. Marsha is your wife, and that's what she wants. She just wants the money. Don't embarrass me, and if you do, it's gonna cost you another however many million. Fine, that's our deal. But Jerry's not that. And what's her name? What was her name? You told me last time, the Mrs. Incredible. What was her name?
Damn, I forgot her name. I forgot her
But
character's name.
but her,
Rhea. Rhea,
Rhea.
yeah.
Rhea wasn't that either. So he keeps trying to get these women that he thinks he can just make do whatever, just be, their puppets. And maybe it's because of Shiv too. But he has to remember these women are your family. I am not. I don't owe you anything. They don't either, but I definitely don't. So I think he's getting sloppy. Just to say that. All of that to say I think he's getting sloppy. And I thought it was hilarious that they said the FBI's downstairs and he said tell them to fuck off. I'm
Oh,
like,
but
dude.
they don't exactly fuck
Federal
off.
the
Yeah. They
Federal
don't,
Bureau of Investigation. They're gonna kick your door down. Please
especially
open the
since
door for the FBI.
he kinda pissed off the president now. So that too.
What was he thinking? What was he thinking? And just to be clear, was the lady that he was talking to, is that who
The lady who
Jerry
was
was
on the
talking
phone with
to, or he
Jerry,
was
yes.
trying to get to? Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So he just stepped out again, stepped all over Jerry's toes because she tried to fix it. And I guess he just like, well, I'll do it myself. No, you won't. He's the
Uh,
president. He low key, maybe that's why the FBI came. He low key, low on the lowest keys, threatened the president.
I mean,
He did. Remember, because she's like he knows or he can do something. He's like, well, if he will do it to me, I have no problem doing it to him. And I'm like, oh,
okay.
okay. And next thing you know, FBI's downstairs.
Like,
FBI's
I
downstairs.
will, I will write up an executive order the next day saying,
To
Waystar Roy Cohen, I am increasing your taxes. Nobody else taxes but yours.
just
Like,
you specifically. This is a law. This is the Waystar Royco law specifically for you. Everything you air, you got to pay $10,000 in taxes
yes.
for every show. So yeah, maybe that was him. Maybe it's Roy's fault that the I'm sorry, Logan's fault that the
Yeah.
FBI came. I think it
It's
is. I think it's Logan's fault,
it's plausible, yeah.
and it just happened to coincide with Shiv's letter,
Hmm.
and thankfully Kendall got some joy out of it. So, yeah. You think Tom's gonna go to jail? Who's going? Somebody gotta go to jail, right? Who's gonna go to jail? If you had to guess right now, who's going to jail? It'd be Tom right now, today, right? Today.
So, all right. So, how these things happen in the real world is like, yeah, there is a fall guy, and they say the buck stops with that person. But in this instance, I got a feeling it wouldn't be like kind of how they said on the yacht. It wouldn't be juicy enough. It doesn't, it doesn't play right. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it would have to be one of the siblings.
One of the kids.
Yeah.
It won't be. I don't think it'll be Kendall because he just kind of jumped out there and was like, "I knew. We knew he was
Yeah.
doing this."
Mhm.
Um, Shiv would be, I guess, for lack of better words, sensational because people would be like, "Oh, they threw the woman under the bus." It won't be Roman. I think it'd be Tom. I mean, it's Tom, and then maybe Greg or Logan. Is Logan gonna go to prison?
I mean,
His name's on the emails. He signed off. It might be
mhm,
Logan,
it might
especially since
be.
Kendall was like, "My dad did it. It was my dad." And if Tom asked you of that fire, he's going to prison
Mhm.
like a dirty old man, where he should be, because there's no doubt in
Yes.
my mind he knew everything. He probably had a part of it. So yeah, we
He was
shall see.
he was on them boats. But yeah, I think we'll stop here.
This was
Thanks
a
for
magnificent episode. That's what we want to
it was
say. Mm,
fantastic. It was fantastic.
beautiful.
Like really, it was like that's what you know, damn it, that's what TV is supposed to be. So yeah, like shout out to the whole team, like everyone knocked it out of the park. This cast is so good. The writing's good. So yeah, shout out to everybody involved. And thanks for watching our recap. We
Yes.
hope you join us for many more. Let us know how you're feeling about the show so far. But yeah, got Deed here. We got Ron here. And yeah, until next time.
Peace.
Peace.